Tolkien, Lewis, friendship told in a graphic novel form? Oh yeah, this is a great book. Today we're talking about Mythmakers, the book by John Hendrix. The Mythmakers is a visually told portrait of an extraordinary literary friendship, how two minds sharpened each other and shaped modern fantasy. And honestly, these two authors have been so formative in my own life. I was ecstatic to come across this book randomly in a bookstore while we were visiting Oxford in the UK. There are some big and I think often forgotten themes throughout this book. Friendship and fellowship, certainly elements of faith, creativity, and I think probably more than all of that is just the power of story, which is something that as someone who really loves to read, and the whole reason I started a YouTube channel was to help other people discover books and learn to love to read, just makes me so happy on so many levels and brings me so much joy and satisfaction as a reader. Obviously, Tolkien and Lewis are our primary characters in the story, although you see bits and pieces of their family and their family life, as well as the Inklings, who were their friends and writing partners and creative thought partners when they were at Oxford. Here's what worked for me. I was a little bit nervous that this format was going to seem a little too juvenile, that it wasn't going to be able to get into the depth and the messiness of their friendship, not only how they kind of encourage one another and challenge one another to be better writers or just better in general of how they showed up in the world, but also kind of the disillusionment of their friendship, which actually happened. I didn't want the author to soft foot that, and in my brain I thought, oh, if it's going to be a graphic novel, it might be too juvenile. And I was so pleasantly surprised that not only was it not juvenile, it actually somehow made the story work more for me. And maybe it's because I'm a comic book nerd, I don't know. But there was just so much about the graphic artistry in it and the way in which the story unfolds and kind of the narrative choices that the author makes that just really landed pretty well for me. Another thing that worked for me is the emotions of it. I got choked up several times, and to be fair, two of the times that I kind of felt that lump in my throat were because of the author's narrative choice. It wasn't necessarily something that is super grounded in like footnotes and scholarship, those particular moments, but it didn't change the impact that it had on me and the meaning and beauty behind some of the things that this book explores, particularly about their friendship, really landed in a meaningful way. For any of your friends that are like big Tolkien and Lewis fans and they really hold both of them in really high regard, just get them this book. You're not going to regret it. They're not going to regret it. It is such a giftable and meaningful book that anybody who is fans of those two authors, they're absolutely going to love it, and you're going to hit it out of the park, and they're going to think you have given them the best gift that they've gotten in a long time. There's nothing about this book that didn't work for me personally. I do think some people who are wanting something much more like scholarly, like footnotes, that kind of stuff about, more of a true biography, this may not be the book for them. However, if they're really fans of Tolkien and Lewis, I think they're still going to like the book. Even if they did want something more scholarly or something more along the lines of a traditional biography or autobiography, there's just so much to like about this book if you are a fan of it. The only other thing I could see not working for some is that if they don't have necessarily an interest in both authors and they only have an interest in one, they may not find it as engaging or captivating because they just simply don't care as much. Now, my determinations in these book reviews always fall into one of three categories. Just read it. If you have time, read it. Or it's your time, not mine, so read it if you want. This is 100% unequivocally, just read it. If you're a fan of Lewis and Tolkien, just read it. You're not going to regret it. Buy it for someone else as a gift. It's just great. It's got whimsy, it's got heart, it's got passion, and there's so much interesting history about these two men individually as well as their friendship that you're going to feel like you know them even more, which I don't think that's a bad thing at all. All right, that's it for today. As always, stay curious, read deeply, and I'll see you in the library.